Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel for another haul video. I'm super excited about this one today. But before I get into the haul, I want to show you my hair. Look at this. I'm wearing a banana clip. Look at how long and full and gorgeous that makes my hair look. I look like I have so much hair. Why did we let these go out of style? These are phenomenal. They're so easy. I don't know if you remember what a banana clip is, but it's this long comb thing that like gets all your hair up there. It's fantastic. And you better get used to it because I'm probably wearing it in the next video because I can't wash my hair until Friday. Anyway, let's go through my haul. I've got a fantastic haul of women's vintage clothing. The majority of this is going to be available for sale in a Whatnot show, probably not till March 27th of 2025, depending on when you watch this video. But I'm going to show it all to you now. So magically, I'm not fully prepared in this moment for tomorrow's Whatnot show, but I am mostly prepared and it will be very easy. And so being able to put this into next week's show means that I am once again a little bit ahead of the game, and we're going to try to keep that trend going. Fingers crossed. Okay, first up is this little dress. This doesn't look like much right now. This is a very cute little maxi length dress. It's like a kind of a gown, right? Probably, I think this was meant to be sort of like a prom dress type of thing, but it seems a little basic. I don't know. In my opinion, a lot of the Y2K stuff seemed kind of basic when it came to prom stuff. But anyway, it's very cute. It's got this little cross strap back there. Obviously, you saw the blue rose print on this. So pretty. This dress was $5, and this is a Rampage, our wear for Rampage or by Rampage, whatever. Really cute, so adorable. I am going to need to wash this before I put it up, ideally, or at least stain treat it. There's some spots that are very, very light. I think they'll come right out though. Anyway, so there's that. So cute. Next up is another sort of like prom kind of dress. Very adorable. Hold on. Get her out here. There we go. Look how cute that is. With this like ridiculous bow over here. I feel like the bow is no, maybe it's normal. Okay. Anyway, this has a very 50s look to it, but this is an 80s dress. But I love that, right? All this great lace, sort of a midi length, I would guess. There are 0 tags in here. It's got these guys sewn in. I feel like these are much more prevalent, I feel like, in later era pieces like 90s, 2000s, but obviously they did use them and stuff. These look a little bit more carefully sewn in, right? When I see some of them from the later era, it's like literally like 2 stitches in the crappiest shoulder pad looking thing in the world. So I think this dress was probably made in like a specialty shop. When I went to my prom, I got my dress in like a little shop that specialized in like bridesmaids and prom dresses. And so a lot of them didn't have tags and stuff. I feel like this is very similar to that. So anyway, very adorable. This dress cost more money than I would like to have spent on it. It was $10. Little too much in my opinion, but I think it's really cute. I love the silhouette. I love the colors. I think it's very fun. And it's retro and vintage and cute without necessarily looking super dated for people who don't live the vintage lifestyle. I don't know who those people are, and I don't think they buy things from me, but maybe in case, anyway, there's that. Next up is, what? I unzipped this. By the way, I recorded this whole video, like 40 minutes worth of video, and didn't have my microphone turned on, so the video had no sound, so I'm doing it again. Mercury is in retrograde. Hold on, let me do. Okay, just making sure I am on. Mercury's in retrograde, and it is messing with all this stuff. So this dress, this is kind of cute. I almost didn't get this, but obviously I did. I don't know why. I think this will be, I can't tell if this waistband, it's got this nice little belt. I can't tell if that's going to be a little bit lower than the natural waist. I feel like this has got a mod 60s kind of silhouette to it, where it's maybe a little bit more straight with more of a hip huggery belt, but I'll have to try it on and see. There are tags in this. Here's another little nylon talon zipper. And then the tags. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. I have to like re-hem this. The hem has been taken down. So, but that I think will fit a little bit more too. It looks like it was pretty, the hem was quite wide. This will be good practice for me. So it was folded up another time, but that's how much has been taken down. And I think it'll be a cute little mini dress, like a little scooter kind of dress in a way. There's that tag. And then there's this union tag. And I believe that union tag was pre 1974. In 74, they went to like a red, white, and blue version of it. So that one's probably, late 60s, early 70s. Yum. Okay. This next top, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Here's the shirt. So it's like sort of a little tank top style. Okay. Really cute. This is not vintage. Project Alabama green tea. Project Alabama is a brand that was like a small, like pretty independent maker kind of company. I don't know how big they got. I know that they've been sold through Anthropologie before, but they do these really unique pieces. And so this one I love. As you can see, that's, the front is mostly just this green tank top, but then it's got this beaded, strappy thing, and it goes to the back to this racer back style. And it's very detailed with the beading and the sequins and everything. It's really pretty. Now, and then this is very wide armholes, but I believe I've worn a similar cut to this before. And so I think it'll cut over here. So you don't need to wear a bra or anything with this. Even though it looks like very wide armholes, it'll actually cover you fine. This is mark size extra small. My intention with this is I'm definitely going to try it on because I feel like I might like it for myself. If it doesn't fit me the way that I would like it to fit me, I have someone else that I'm going to offer to because she also likes the Project Alabama brand, but I don't know that this cut is going to be her vibe, but I'll check with her. And if neither of those options work out, then I will be selling it on eBay or something. And you can see too, like this beading panel, it goes all the way down. Like they didn't skimp out or anything. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty top. I love this. So, and this cost me $5, which honestly was a little bit more than I would have liked to have spent on it because it's not a thing I would have gotten solely for resale. I did look it up. Project Alabama stuff is kind of all over the place price wise. So I didn't find that exact piece. And because I don't know, like if I might have picked it up just for resale if it sold for like 70 or 90 or $100, something like that. But some of them were listed as low as 30. And just for $5, I wouldn't have picked it up only to resell because it's not going to be something I put in a whatnot show. It would go directly to eBay, just the amount of work and everything. But because I might like it for myself and I know someone else who might like it, I took a chance on it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Next up is this cute little denim skirt. And it's another piece that I almost didn't get because it's a little bit small. I don't think it's super tiny. It's marked size 11-12, but that's not, so it's not modern 11-12. So it's probably a 6, maybe an 8. But I feel like it's going to be like a modern 6. So I almost didn't get it because it's small, but then look, there are people who are small who also buy clothes. I do that a lot when I find things that are, oh, this cost me, sorry, I'm off track. This cost me $2.50. So that was also an easy decision that way. I find that when I come across really tiny things that are like a 24 to 26 inch waist, I hesitate in buying them unless they're really phenomenal because it always feels like it's a harder size to sell. And I don't know that that's necessarily true. I have smaller people who shop my whatnot shows and of course everywhere else. It's so, I almost didn't get it because it was smaller, but then I was like, there are small people still. So, all right. Next up is a sweater. Now, as I record this, today is March 19th. Tomorrow, March 20th, I am doing my springtime show for Whatnot. This will not go in that show, obviously, A, because it's a sweater. That's not a springtime sweater. And B, next week is March 27th. So I don't know if I'm going to want to put a sweater into a show yet. I may hold on to this and start collecting pieces for a fall show, but here's the tag. But this was cute and it was $2. So there we go. Now I might put it in the Whatnot show next week if I feel like I don't have enough new inventory, but I'll probably try and hold it for like a sweater show in the fall. So look at this little cutie patootie. This little hat. How cute is that? So it's this was $2, and I don't know if it's gonna, with my little banana clip. Like, look how cute that is, though. I'm not good with hats. I don't wear them too often, but I feel like this is really adorable. Probably needs to be like, I don't know. That looks very handicap, which none of you are going to know who that is. I don't know. Anyway, that's adorable. Little pom pom. And what's the other cute part of it? Look at that cute tag. And also the elastic in it is like a gold metallic elastic thread, which I thought was so funny also. Anyway, really cute little hat. This was, I think I told you, $2. So there we go. Did I mess up my hair? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Next. All right, this dress, I spent too much money on this dress. I spent too much money on a lot of things today. I didn't spend a lot of money overall, but a lot of the pieces I got just cost me a little bit more than I would like. This was $8, and I really do love the print on this. So it's obviously black with this purple flower print, right? Giant rose kind of flower, really pretty. It has this bow at the front, and then this wraps around and buttons behind the bow on the other side. One of the buttons is missing, which is annoying, but when you button it closed, these are not visible. So I'm just going to replace that with something else because you won't see it anyway. So the thing that's annoying about that is it does make the waist a pretty static size. There's only one set of buttonholes to connect that to. So, we usually like a little bit of elastic or a little bit of like 2 buttonholes to choose from instead of just one. But it's really pretty. It's like a 90s rayon kind of fabric. And here's the tag, Lands Originals. Yay, right? So cool. The other part of the tag is super faded, so I don't know what size this is. I think I saw before that it was 14. I don't know if it's quite that large, but probably like a modern size large. So that was $8, which means that in a Whatnot show, I'd have to start it at like 20 bucks to make it worthwhile. All right, let's see. This is a very cute little blouse. Brownstone Studio. I'll show you the tag, of course. And this is a very gauzy kind of fabric. I think it's polyester, but it's sort of like semi-sheer, little wildflower print, really cute. And Brownstone Studio. And this was $2, which is pretty fantastic. In USA, oh, it's a cotton poly. Okay. There you go, a little paper tag. So very pretty. I like that. Nice, nice. All right, next up, got a couple of belts. So this first one, I was very excited about, but I discovered a flaw because of course I did, since I got home. So it's this little, leather belt with this great silver. I don't know if it's sterling or if it's just silver tone. There is a stamp in it. I can't read it. I mean, it might just say like made in Mexico or something, but I can't, I cannot read it at all. So there's that. And what's fun is the little metal tip here also is stamped on the back, which I thought was cool. It's the same stamp that I still can't read. But this is genuine eel. However, I noticed that here there's like this little spot that's peeling up that now won't do it, which I guess is good, but it's like it's peeling in a spot. There we go. And that's not nice, right? So I don't know. This was $3. So $3 is not terrible until it's damaged, and then that sucks. Anyway, next, another belt. This is just a leather belt with these embroidered, geometric little shapes. That's what's stamped on the belt. So it's a really nice quality. You can see the embroidery is very full on both sides. It's not like some janky, cheap, it's a nice little belt. $3 for this as well. A little bit much, but it's nice to have belts sometimes. People tend to like them. All right, let's see. Next, I'm going to show you this. This is a very cute little like house coat kind of dress, right? I like the print on this. It's fun, very colorful. We all know I like it. I like the fabric. It is this very gauzy fabric. Now, this is like the sleeves are just single layer. The rest of this is lined. So, but it's still like super nice and lightweight. This is 100% cotton made in India. So it is, I love the soft Indian cotton gauziness of it. And the colors are great. And then there's the tag. Tag's also adorable. And it was $2. So kind of easy. And it's got pockets. Yay. All right. Next is this dress, which I love. This is a vintage nostalgia dress. That's the brand. It was $4, which is great. Nostalgia, you can see it's marked size medium. And it's this sort of like crushed velvet floral print. Really pretty. Just, like a midi dress. So you've got all that. Really pretty. It does need a little repair to the front. Maybe it's in the back waistband. There's just a spot where the waistband is got some popped stitching, so I'll fix that. That's an easy fix. And yeah, it's actually really just they popped the stitching on the waistband. It's not even a tear along the stitching, so that's nice. So I'll fix that, easy peasy. And this was, did I tell you already? Maybe, yeah, $4. So cute. I love this. Really pretty. Okay. Ideally, I would save that for the fall, but I don't know if we'll do that. I don't know. All right, next up is another sweater, which I will save for the fall unless I'm desperate. But look how cute that print is. I love that. Obviously, I love the colors. And I think that the rose print is really pretty. Now, I am disappointed in the back of this sweater because it's plain and that's sad. But the front is so cute. Like there's just, little intarsia knit argyle. So adorable. Alfred Dunner. And this was $2.50. So easy peasy. Nice little pickup there. All right, this next one, really, really cute. And I got a second piece that coordinates with it very nicely. They were not meant to, but it just works out. This dress was $4. Look at this. Okay, there we go. So black and silver metallic. It's got great sleeves. And then the bottom of this is just a full skirt. But look at these sleeves. I love this. So much fullness. And then this is like a semi-sheer. Oh, God. The light is playing these games with me, and I thought there was a giant hole in this for a second. There is not. Not that I've discovered yet, anyway. So, mark size 11, and there's the other tag. So really cute. It does not have a belt with it. I feel like this would look really good with a belt, though. So there's the dress. And then look at this belt and tell me, right? Look at that. That's going to go really well. I'm excited about this. This belt was, I don't know if it was $2 or $4. I always get screwed up with the accessories. When I go, there's generally the store has 5 color tags. And on the day that I go, 4 of them are on sale for me at 50% off, but that's on clothing. When it comes to accessories, there are going to be 2 colors that are 50% off. And then the other 2, I don't know. So I just get the accessories. And if I have to be okay with the price that it's listed at. And then this does have a tag. I think it says made in Taiwan, ROC, Republic of China, and then medium large. phenomenal. The only downfall with this is, again, this is sort of a one size, meaning it only fits one waist size because it hooks in, but there's no adjustability to it. So I have seen belts like this in the past where this loop end was tied with a knot. Thereby, like if we had a knot in this, let's pretend, it would give you two different spots to hook into. However, if you tie a knot in this, it's going to significantly shorten the length of the belt, which might be fine. Whatever, people can mess around with it. They do what they want. It's still cute, even if it's only going to fit one size waist. All right, next is this little sweater knit camisole top. Very adorable. I like the colors on this, little space dyed, the little sweater knit. It's very sweet. This was not on sale. It was $3. And there's that tag. And then, of course, the paper tag. So, and this is mark size large, but who are we fucking kidding? I'm going to try this on. I don't know that I'll want to keep it, but I kind of think maybe. So I'm going to try it on and see if I love it. Otherwise, it'll be in a whatnot show. All right, next up, this one is, I just like this and I can't explain why, except that it's vintage, okay? This is a turtleneck, just a plain turtleneck. This is more like a t-shirt material. I mean, it's very stretchy. Look how stretchy that is. My God, that's crazy. It's mark size extra large, and it's really, really soft and feels like it would be super comfortable. It's very thin, so you can layer it under stuff easily. There's the tag. Obviously, it's vintage, This is, I think it says 50-50 cotton, polyester cotton. It's got like the single seam stitching on the bottom. It's a longer length. I thought it was like a nice basic vintage piece. Like if I wore solid color basic shit, I would want it to be vintage, and I would get more excited about that than I would about like a modern equivalent. So I got it. Okay. And it was $2. So even better. But I don't know why I like it so much. And I'm not even going to keep it. I don't wear these colors. So I don't know, but I like it a lot. So there we go. Next, stop judging me, is this little bed jackety situation. So it does not have any closures down the front. It's short, very cute. I did end up finding the nightgown that went with this, but the nightgown was really fucking boring, honestly. It was just like a tank style, loose fitting nightgown with this lace like along here. It was very boring. And they were not being sold as a set. And normally I do like to keep little sets together, even when they're not being sold together. I like to keep them, friends. But I just didn't like the nightgown thing. I thought like the bed jacket on its own had way more appeal. You can see the brand on this is Romans, but it's marked size 38-40, which typically refers to bust size. The nightgown also was marked the same size. It didn't really look too large. So I was like, it's not like if it had been an actual plus size thing, because I think Romans is plus size stuff. If it had been actual plus size, that I might have gotten it, but it wasn't even that, so it's just like kind of a boring nightgown. So I grabbed this. This might go into my plus size show. I'll have to measure it and see where it falls. But I thought it was really cute. It was $3. The nightgown thing was $4. It just seemed like $7 seemed a lot to spend for this set when I don't know. I wasn't into it, okay? All right, this thing I've got all turned inside out from weirdness. So this blouse, this has no tags. I feel like this is 70s just because I do. First of all, I think it's handmade. Here's the fabric, right? Again, that sort of like over dyed look, really cute. This feels like silk, although I'm not sure. And here are the buttons, which was another, like, I feel like they look a little bit older. Look how cute they are. And then there's nothing like particularly telling about the construction. I mean, besides that it does seem handmade, and there's like a lot of this, I don't remember what this stuff is called, facing. This is like this, it's almost like a dryer sheet type of material, but you fusing it might be called too. You fuse it to the fabric to help either give it stability or sort of like, you know, keep things stable while you put a seam in there or something. I don't know. I don't use it. I generally would stay away from trying to use this stuff on vintage fabrics because it does like adhere to the fabric and that can damage things over time. So anyway, but I feel like this is probably 70s-ish. I don't know what the fabric is. It does feel like silk, but it could just be a really nice nylon or polyester. I will probably do a burn test on the fabric just to see. And if you're not familiar, a burn test is where you snip off a piece of the fabric. You find like a seam or something. This is like a nice wide seam here. So I could like snip a piece off lengthwise that wouldn't really be missed. And then you burn it. And the behavior of the fabric when it burns gives you clues as to what the fiber content is. So does it like, first of all, like what does it smell like? Does it smell like burning feathers, burning hair, burning paper, burning plastic, something like that? What kind of ash does it have? Is it like does it form like a black bead, or does it get to like a powdery ash or whatever? There's all these sort of behaviors. And then how does it burn? Some stuff, when what color is the flame? Does the flame go away? Like if you hold the match up to and it lights on fire, but you take the match away, does the flame immediately extinguish or does it keep burning? Things like that. I'm really bad with burn tests. Mostly, I am able to discern whether or not it's a natural fiber versus a synthetic, but it also gets tricky when fibers are mixed, like a 50-50 poly cotton blend would, behave a little differently. So I can't always rely on it totally, but often I'm able to at least say like, okay, this is sort of synthetic versus a natural fiber. So it's helpful in that sense. I have a burn test chart saved into my phone and my photos so that I can refer back to it pretty easily when I want to do one of these little tests. So next up, this bag, very cute, like a little Greek, probably like souvenir style bag. I like these because I think they're cool, like sort of hippie bohemian style bags. This was $1. So it might have been 50 cents. I don't know, but it was no more than $1. So that's cute. I like it. Next up, I'm excited about these. I'm not excited about how much I paid, but I am excited about the item itself. These were originally priced at $19. They were 50% off, so I paid 10, but no. Vintage cachet. Yes. And it's new old stock. Originally $128. Mark size 12. I suspect these are maybe more like a 10. Maybe they're a 12, but look at this. Lace pants. I love it. And these are really cool. So because I spent 10 bucks on these and they're new old stock and they're cachet and they're awesome, I probably will offer them up in a Whatnot show, but they will probably be offered more at like 25 bucks without doing comps to look up and see what these could be selling for at the moment. Off the top of my head, I think that I would list these probably around $129, including the shipping for Etsy and everything. So if they don't sell on Whatnot at 25 bucks, then that's fine. I'll list them elsewhere for more. If I look them up and they were like, I saw comps that indicated I could be selling these for like $400 on Etsy, they're not going to go on Whatnot. But I don't think that that's likely. I think they're going to be comping somewhere in the $80 to $150 range. So there. So cool. I am a little concerned that I'll want to keep them because I think they'll fit me, but the reality of me wearing these, like, other than for Whatnot shows, it's unlikely, so I probably will sell it. All right, next up, this thing is really cute. I did debate on this. I have a lot of pieces today where I was like, I debated getting it, but I feel like there's a kitsch factor to this. So this also, it was $5. It was full price. So that was right. So it's like a weird green windbreakery jacket that I've snapped incorrectly. Hold, please. Come here. There we go. All right, let's try that again. Weird little windbreakery jacket. And I like that there's like this contrast white stitching. This is very thin and very swishy sounding, as you can hear. It has its belt, so yay, that's nice. And this, most exciting part in my opinion, is the tag. Look at that tag. How awesome is that? That's so freaking cute. Romans, you can see it's marked size small, but like 18 and a half to 20 and a half. So again, I feel like Romans is a plus size brand and the 18 to 20 does seem plus size. And when I look at the measurement for this, I think it's probably, so I will most likely, that's kind of what was the deciding factor for me. I was on the fence a little bit. I love the tag and I do think it's kitschy, but because it's just a solid color, I was like, but then when it was plus size, I was like, okay, let me get it. And I'm going to add it to my plus size show that will eventually someday happen. There's something in the pocket. It's not going to be anything. Oh, it's just like the original hang tag. Look at that. That's so cute. Romans Deluxe, 100% nylon, all weather. I love that. That's a fun little trinket. Okay. Anyway, so this will go into my plus size show that will happen someday. I don't know when. I don't feel like I have enough pieces yet, but I'm working on it. All right, moving along. This is a cute little stretchy mesh baby tee style top, right? This is made by the Limited, and I am not up on like the limited tags and what eras they fit into. I remember the ones from like when I was in high school and maybe college, but this seems, I mean, this is a later tag. I just don't know how much later. It does say made in Taiwan, Republic of China, the ROC. So I feel like it is going to be more 90s. I don't know if Y2K, but maybe. I don't think it's going to be modern, but I'll look up tags. I also feel like modern, it would have been maybe printed on the shirt because we do a lot of that now. Anyway, I thought it was really cute, little stretchy mesh top. So I don't know that this will sell on Whatnot. I paid $4 for this. I don't feel like this is necessarily my Whatnot crowd, but maybe. But that's okay. I'll offer it there, but it might end up selling on like Etsy or maybe Depop. Maybe it'll be one of my once a month sales on Depop. Who knows? All right, let's see. Next, this thing is gorgeous. And I actually think it'll pair nicely with those black lace cachet pants because it's fancy. This was $10, not on sale. It's just straight up $10. But look at this. I love this. This is heavy. These are all glass beads. They're beautifully done. I love the little, like, that the shirt has that little you know, nipped in waist. And then there's all these gorgeous glass beads. So, so, so pretty. Little zipper down the back. And then there's the tag. So I thought this was really nice. $10 though. So I'll offer this on Whatnot, but between it costing me $10, I'm going to have to list it at least at 20, but probably more like 25 to make it worthwhile. Um, and it's heavy, so like 1 to 2 pound weight category for this. So I don't know that it will sell on Whatnot, but you never know, and that's okay. I'll offer it up, and if it doesn't sell, I'll eventually list it on Etsy or whatever. So, all right, next, this is such a fun piece. It does not have any tags. I know it went with something else. I just don't know what. Couldn't find it, but and also it was $8. Once again, more than I would have liked to have spent, but it's like look, it's not sitting right, but how could I not fucking buy this thing? Like, look at that. Those rainbow stripes are phenomenal. This like quilted kind of collar, amazing. Cups, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. These sleeves even. Look at this. Great detail. So much fun. Obnoxious, amazing. I love it. $8. $8. This is the construction. Not, nothing to write home about. I don't know what this is made out of either. I'm gonna go with it, probably polyester. But and the purple is like a little bit iridescent-y. It's so cool. It's so gaudy and amazing, and I love it. So, yay. All right, now the last few pieces. These are all underwear pieces. Yay, my favorites. I'm gonna start off with this. Look, you can judge me if you want. I don't really care. These are just for me. Okay. They're like gray colored tidy whities. They're Ralph Lauren polo. These seem to be barely, if ever, worn. They're in excellent condition. I hate women's underwear. Okay. That's not to say like I run around wearing men's underwear all the time, although there's nothing wrong with that. But I can either find underwear that fits me the way I want to fit, but it looks ridiculous. It's like stupid. It's the most boring thing. Granny panty white underwear, like it's hideous. Or I can find stuff that's like cute looking, but doesn't fit my body the way that I want it to fit. It's always got like an ass cheek hanging out somewhere, or it's like cutting with a cheap elastic band in a weird spot. Like I hate it, right? So men's underwear, like I think at least this will fit comfortably. I have some great boxer briefs that I love wearing to bed, and I think this will be fun for that kind of things, right? So, and it's like great quality because it's Ralph Lauren polo and it's older Ralph Lauren, so it's really cool. Anyway, this was $1, yeah, dollar. So that's that. Okay, next up is this very adorable little two-piece set. This was also more than I wanted to spend. I almost didn't get it, but I was a little limited on my pieces today, so I grabbed it. This is going to go directly to like eBay, whatever. It's not going to go on Whatnot, but it's maybe it will go on Whatnot. I had a similar set once that I wasn't going to put on Whatnot, and then I ended up using it, and it sold on Whatnot. So anyway, this little camisole top, and it's this burnout adorableness. Okay. This set was $6, a little bit more than I would like to spend. There's the tag. Okay. Very cute. And then it has these little cat panties that go with it. I think they go this way. Also sheer burnout. Very cute. Very sexy. Very nice. So, yeah, maybe it'll go on Whatnot. That's not my intention. My intention is that it's going to go right to eBay, and I'll cross post it, but I feel like it's an eBay item. All right, next up. So these are vintage Victoria's Secret, but I don't know that they're going to sell. They're very boring and weird. Okay. Like it's just this very plain front, and then it's got this going on in the back. You know, I don't know that these will be worth anything. It's got the older Victoria's Secret tag. I don't think there's a date on these. I wasn't able to find one. Let's see. So, yeah, I don't see a date. I don't see anything that indicates that it would be a date, but it is older. Like this is going to be like a late 90s, early 2000s era. So I don't know if this is supposed to be some kind of smoothing kind of panty or something very boring, some sort of like foundation garment in that sense. We'll see. I'll see if I can find it. It was $1, so like super cheap, and worth picking up because vintage Victoria's Secret, especially the 90s Y2K era, does really well for me. Speaking of which, okay, next is this lace thong panty, also vintage Victoria's Secret. Now, this was either $1 or 50 cents. I'm not sure. It's got the little V there. How cute. So this should be, I was going to say late 90s. It could be early 2000s. There is a date in here, but I can't read it because I'm 120 years old. Anyway, it's got the pink, hold on, my coffee's in the way. This pink tag, right? And then you won't be able to see it because it won't focus, but down that little 4-digit number there is the date. It's got this pink barb tag, so it is new old stock. You can see that this rubbery stuff back here is all heely, whatever, but that's the only issue, and it's still very flexible. So this should sell really well. Mark size large. And when I say really well, I don't fucking know. Maybe just well, maybe like 20, $25 or something. I had a bunch of these a while back. Most of them I put on Depop. I think I did sell some on eBay. I can't remember. I wasn't cross posting at the time. And this is a size large. I think the others I had were smaller. So we'll see. I'm excited about that. We'll see how it does. Obviously, I'll do comps before I list it. So, all right, next, staying on the Victoria's Secret track is, drum roll please, we got some second skin satin. Love it. And it's got that wide lace band at the top. It's like a, I don't know if some of these say what they are on them, but not all of them. I'm going to refer to it as a bikini. I'll see what other names are, but it's basically a high-waisted bikini panty. and excellent, right? So these are marked 2001, not when I was able to read. I don't think you'll be able to. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, but excellent, very excited. And these were also $1. Love it. Next, more Second Skin Satin Victoria's Secret. If you haven't picked up on this already, Second Skin Satin from Victoria's Secret sells really well. The larger the size, the better. These, so this great color, I love it. These are also the signature waistband, also, adds to the value. And these are a size large, so fantastic. And new old stock. Love it. So when I say these are going to sell well, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I always have to comp these every time I come across them because I don't come across them often enough that I'm like up to date. But I feel, and it always depends. It depends on the size. It depends on obviously if there's flaws and stuff, but like the color and a couple of different variables. So I look them up every time. I'm hopeful that these will be in the like $75 to $100 range. We'll see. Anyway, very excited about that. And the last item that I have is also lingerie, but not Victoria's Secret. Now, I personally am more excited about this one than the other ones. There's part of me that wants to keep this, but I don't need to keep it. But all right, look at these. So these are like 50s or 60s era high-waisted panties. These are nylon. There's like this great black nylon in the back. Look at that nice curvy gusset at the bottom. Mushroom gusset, right? We like that. That's good. And on the front, you're like, what the fuck is going on in the front there, Laura? They're like little red ants. Why are there red ants? I have no fucking idea. I don't understand. It confuses me. Ants in your pants, maybe? I don't know, but it's adorable. Got that little red detail, little red bow. You've got another mushroomy gusset in the front. The lace around the legs is little, let's see, they're little hearts. Isn't that so cute? And then, of course, the tag is cute because it's old. Oh, the other thing that makes these, desirable is that the lining of the crotch is nylon and not cotton. That is a desirable feature for some people. And then there's the cute, cute, cute little tag. So I do want to keep these because I love like 50s granny panties, but I have one pair that I mostly just wear when I'm doing photos because they're black and it's like a nice fit. When I'm wearing under like sheer stuff, I like to wear contrast color underwear so you can tell how sheer an item is or is not. These with the little red ants all over it sort of, ends up being too distracting, I think. And I'm not going to just like wear them as everyday underwear. So, but they're so freaking cute. And I think they'll sell well. Again, I feel like these are going to be, I don't know, stuff like this is such a mystery to me because maybe it'll be 100, maybe it'll be 400. I don't fucking know. The last pair of granny panties that I had pretty recently sold for, I think they sold for like 160. Yeah, I think 160. So not bad. So that would be super fun for these. But with the ants on them, how cute is that? And I feel like these are a decent, like medium to large size, which is nice too. Anyway, and these cost me, I think they were only $1. They were marked as $2. I think they were 50% off, even if they were $2. Who cares? So cute. So that's everything that I got today. I'm super excited about it. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of it'll go into the Whatnot show next week. So I'll be ahead of the game. Obviously, the underwear is all going to go on like eBay. I'll cross post it probably unless I'm auctioning it. It depends. With a lot of the Victoria's Secret stuff, unless I can find really definitive comps, I will sometimes just throw it up as an auction. If I find really good comps and I know what the buy it now price would be, then I'll cross post it everywhere. But I anticipate that they'll sell on eBay. But you never know. I did pretty decently on Posh with some panties. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my little haul. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my banana clip. See that again? Love it. And that's it. I Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts about everything. Is there something you particularly liked? If you have questions about anything, let me know. And I will see you again soon. I'm rambling. I don't know what I'm saying, but thank you for watching this and for following me. And I'll see you soon. Bye.